What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering the Quarry. Now, the Quarry is an amazing horror story game which has been absolutely well anticipated. Not only that, but last night we had the great pleasure of being invited down to London by 2K for the private pre-release event and got some hands-on time with the game itself. So today we're going to be talking about whether it's worth doing, whether you should spend your money on it, and tonight we're also doing a live playthrough on release at midnight. So make sure you're here on the channel for when it goes live. With that being said, smash the like button, subscribe with post notifications turned on, and let's get into it. So what is the game about? Long story short, you are a bunch of camp house counsellors at the old Hackett campsite. These counsellors attend the Hackett Quarry to go and spend the night partying while nobody else is there. Lo and behold, they go in for a fun time and then become the prey. So throughout your gameplay style, you'll play as all of the counsellors one after another in essentially such as like chapters, and it works very, very well. Your main task though is to survive the night overall. Now the game is extremely immersive with massive interactions and so many different replayability options. You will essentially go through the point where you get to make certain decisions throughout the game which will completely alter the way that the game pans out and see who survives and who doesn't. Your job is to make sure that as many people as possible survive. Now this absolute thriller of a game does not disappoint, with a playstyle that works very, very interactively on a basis of pure cinematics plus gameplay styles and high search engines, which means that you guys will be able to get collectibles and find objectives all along the way. You'll get put into certain areas and be able to search around and look for clues on how to survive and ways to work it out. Although being hunted and being the prey makes this all a little bit more difficult along the way. Not only that, but this is a 7 online player interactive game, which means that you guys will be able to go in with 7 of you and be able to make decisions as a group so that you can decide exactly how this game pans out. For me, the game worked very, very well, and it was an extremely immersive situation where it kind of worked on a really high-end horror version. Not only that, but if you are solely into the whole version of just making decisions and watching it out, you can also go into the theater mode where you'll also be able to make a load of the decisions prior and then enjoy the whole game through cinematic option as if it was almost a movie. It works very, very well. Now this game has been reviewed quite well, especially on Metacritic, with an 80 out of 100. Although it does not sound 100% amazing, it is genuinely such an amazing score for the game that is done so damn good, and 2K should definitely be proud of their outgoing. Now the game does have a bit of a steep price range for me personally, with around £65 or £59 depending on what version you're playing. If you're playing this on old generation, it will be at £59 for the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One version, or if you wanted to play it in next gen with better graphics and really find yourself getting sucked into the game, it will cost an extra £10 for the next generation version. Now, my only query on the game is the fact that it does take a little while to really lift off. The pace at the beginning is very, very slow, and it really takes a little while to build up the storyline. But maybe just an hour or so in, you'll start to find that the pace really picks up and the game is an absolute blast. And as much as it does sound like a bit of a negative, make sure that you really pay attention for that first hour or so, because it really sets up the whole story for the rest of the game. And it does that so well. Not only that, but the characters themselves are also really relatable, and it also makes it a version of a game where you can also really, really feel for the characters. For this style of game, it really makes a massive difference, because if you actually have an emotional feeling behind the characters, when one of them dies, you definitely feel it right in the gudulars. But for me, the favourite part of it is definitely the exploration. Actually being able to explore each area and finding collectibles and finding hidden features is definitely a great addition to the game and franchise. And with the gaming scene being so quiet right now, if you guys are looking for a immersive game to really lose yourself into, The Quarry for me is definitely a decent rating, and I'm going to be putting this at maybe a 9 out of 10 for the push onside the game. So if you're looking for a horror story which you can really lose yourself into and give yourself a little bit of a scare if you want to sit in the dark, The Quarry is definitely going to be the game for you. Now, for those interested, this video is not sponsored whatsoever and is not partnered whatsoever, although I do want to say a massive thank you for 2K to inviting me out yesterday to the pre-release, although they haven't had any tainted decision on this video. Although it does have a load of positives, it also has its negatives of a slow-paced game. It does also really mean that you've got to really lose yourself into it to be able to play it all the way through. But as an overall, it's going to be amazing, and I'm I'm going to be seeing you guys at midnight tonight for the game launch of this, and hopefully you guys will enjoy making those decisions along with me and my crew and finding out exactly how many people we can keep live by the end. I appreciate all your faces, guys. Thank you so much again for watching, but as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.